Good morning, everyone. It is a little after 5 a.m. on Monday morning, and my tent has got a really nice coating of dust all over everything inside it, courtesy of the really strong wind that's been whipping up all night. I didn't deploy the apex guy lines last night because didn't see any need to, but I should have done. It got incredibly windy. And like you can hear it whipping around, and then all of a sudden it's like bang, bang, banging into the tent. At one point, it was coming into the left-hand side of me, like really, really strongly. It doesn't seem to be coming from any particular direction as well. It's just very random. I saw a post from somebody who's in front of us, and they put a little video up on Instagram of them trying to walk in 65-mile-an-hour winds, and it was basically like pushing them over. So I hope it's not going to be like that for the rest of today. But right now I need some food, and yes, I need a cup of black coffee. Still windy. It's just after 7 a.m. and we're just approaching mile 502. It's been a climb out of camp again this morning. Not as bad as yesterday's, it's been a lot more gradual, but we're just coming to the top of it now, just cresting it. And then we should start seeing some views, I think, of the Mojave laid out before us again. It was a shame we didn't have a better view from camp last night. There was a few trees in the way. Otherwise, that sunrise this morning would have been absolutely brilliant. I did try and get a little shot of it with the selfie pole extended. Hopefully, it came out not too bad. It's always difficult when you can't see what you're filming. This is one of the water sources on trail. This huge concrete tank in the hillside. And then you can see the views around here are pretty immense. You got the hills and the mountains down there to one side. And if you come over this side, oh boy, be a windy old camp spot up here, but you would get one heck of a view. Look at that. That's rather impressive. There we go, I've zoomed right in as far as the camera will go, so you can kind of see a bit better picture of the vast expanse of desert before us. It's funny to think that this evening, hopefully, we're going to be walking across that. That's the plan. It's about 7:20, 7:30 a.m. at the moment. We've got about 15 miles to go to get down there, and then hopefully rest up for a few hours, and then start moving across it. Mile 505, and I'm on my own at the moment. Centipede stopped a little way back to do her stretches. She's got quite a few different stretches to do, and they do seem to be helping with her joints as well. The last few days she's been hiking more miles, and longer as well. I know the new shoes have helped a great deal, but the stretches are definitely helping. She's doing them like, I think 2 or sometimes 3 times a day, and they're definitely helping her stay a bit more mobile. After all, we were hiking till about 8 p.m. last night, so definitely good news. I'm meeting her in about 5 or 6 miles time at a parking lot near a road, and then we'll push on to a water source for lunch. But I remember this section from 2019, coming through this forested area. It's a real big contrast to the desert scrub I've just been walking through a couple of miles back. Come into this really nice kind of sheltered forested area on the side of the hill as you're dropping down. And I remember when you exit it, you start getting some absolutely breathtaking views of the desert. So I'm looking forward to that. But it is nice temperature in here, nice and shaded. The wind is still really strong, still gusting around quite a bit. But not so much in here. Excuse me, just below the ridge line, so you're kind of out of everything. So this is our first kind of expansive view, really. I think it's just going to get bigger and bigger as I start dropping down this hillside. But you can just... I've said it in a lot of previous videos, my mind just can't comprehend these huge open spaces. They're absolutely insane. And yeah, when I get round this corner, I think you're going to get the real sort of full view and the scale of it all. I can't wait to get down there and cross that. I've crossed it during the day before. It's going to be really, really interesting if we get to cross it tonight. I've never actually purposely night hiked on a trail before, so if we end up doing it tonight, it's going to be the first time for me. So I'm about 2 miles away from where I'm supposed to meet Centipede, down at this little parking lot. Dropping quite quickly now through this forest. You can see the vegetation changing as you drop to a lower elevation. I just want to say a massive thank you to, I know I've got a lot of regular viewers out there. Whenever I'm checking the comments on the videos, there's always sort of 4 or 5 names that are popping up all the time. I'm only going off memory. I'm really sorry. I can't remember some of the usernames, but I do just want to say thank you for commenting and liking and interacting with the videos. It really does help a huge amount. That's what one of the things the algorithm's based on YouTube. So if you drop a comment on, say hello, tell me I'm doing something wrong. Even if it's just a thumbs up, really appreciate it. Helps the videos get discovered. and it does help the channel grow. Everyone says it, but that's what it is all about. YouTube want you, the viewer, and I want you, the viewer, to interact with the videos rather than just watch them. So thank you very much for doing that. And I know there's a lot of knowledge out there as well. I'm not familiar with a lot of the plants and animals and things like that out here. And I do appreciate all the knowledge that people are putting in and telling me what things are. That's very good of you. And I'm glad that people are still enjoying the videos. I do apologise about the ads. I know there's a lot of ads on there. But yeah, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who's commenting and liking and subscribing and sharing. If you know someone that might enjoy this trail, might enjoy the trail videos, by all means send them a link to share the video. Look at this stupid English guy walking 2,500 miles across America. Wow, it is really warm now. Still got my windbreaker on, and the wind has definitely died right down, so that'll be coming off shortly. Also, do just want to say, a couple of people commented on it. I think most people are here watching these videos to see the scenery and the trail. That's my take on things. That's basically why I'm here. So I am trying to keep kind of 90% of the footage focused on the trail and the scenery and the nature. And I will occasionally, like I just did, switch the camera around so you can see my ugly mug for a little while. But I don't want that happening too much. That's not what people are here for. Oh. Bear Campground, 3.5 miles. Highway 138, I think, 10 miles. So there's a horse camp down here somewhere that's got a water source on it, a spring. I'm going to guess that's down there to that. We've got a note down here. It's one hiker left another note for another hiker. That happens quite often, whether it's a piece of paper or whether it's written in the sand on the trail. Right, I'm going to check my app because even though it looks like this is the way, there was actually 3 ways to go back there, and I don't want to be getting lost. Well, this is a beautiful little bit. It's like some sort of garden almost that you're walking through. Really nice. Real nice mixture of scents as well. The flowers and the trees. That's an awesome shot, looking straight down there through all this vegetation to the barren desert in the background. It won't look very good on the camera because you won't be able to see the desert very well, but with a naked eye, that's a really cool shot. In fact, that deserves a photograph. All right, I'm at mile 510, and you can just see the desert. We've dropped right down now, so plants and bushes are obscuring the view. This is the dirt parking lot. This is the kind of thing you live for. No, I'm only joking. Places like this make good rest stops. Be nice if there was a trash can and a pit toilet, but you can't have everything, can you? I've just had to stop myself from destroying my entire bag of chips, or if you're British, crisps that are strapped to the side of my backpack. I use them at lunchtimes to put in my wraps, to give my wraps a little bit of crunch, and I really enjoy that. There's not many left in the packet now, because I've literally just been sat there for like 5 minutes, like ramming them into my mouth. The good news is Hikertown is only about, I'm going to guess like 8 miles away, something like that. So the trail, when Centipede arrives, the trail goes off in that direction there. So I've come down from the hillside here down this trail, and then we turn down there. I think there's maybe a little bit of an uphill to go. Nothing too crazy, I don't think. But we've got to stop at a water source in about a mile and get topped up. I'm almost out of water. I've timed it about right for a change. And then it'll be lunchtime. And then it'll be onwards to Hikertown for hopefully a bit of a siesta and rest before we tackle the aqueduct this evening. Welcome back to the desert. It's about 12:30. Just had a long lunch next to a stream in the shade. So there was a few hikers there. Mostly people we'd not seen before, with the exception of Forgettable and Raw Dog. I've left Amelia there. She wants to have a nap. I don't want to have a nap. I want to go to the shop and get ice cream. And I need a few extra bits to get me to Tehachapi as well. A few more bits of food. She's fully stocked, or she's got enough to last her. So we were just sat trying to work out the plan for the next few days. And we need to be in Tehachapi by Thursday night, because that's when our hotel's booked for. The distance isn't the problem. We've got the rest of today, which is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday to get there. And from this point, it's about 53 miles. So the distance isn't the problem. The problem is that thing that you see there, the aqueduct. Centipede isn't doing well in the heat. She basically doesn't function well in the heat. So we need to cross that when it's cold, which is obviously first thing in the morning or ideally overnight. But it's also 17 miles long. And after a 15-mile day today, another 17 miles in the same day is asking a lot. Not just from her, but from me as well. I mean, it's been a long time since I've done a 30-plus mile day. So we're just trying to figure things out at the moment. But basically, she's going to stay there and have a little nap somewhere in the shade. And I'm going to head down to Hikertown, hopefully get a ride to the store, get my bits, get my ice cream, charge some stuff up, hopefully. I think they've got a room where you can charge stuff up. And then get back to Hikertown to meet Centipede and try and convince her to go at least part of the way over the aqueduct tonight. It's just bad timing, basically. If we'd have got here a slightly different timing, we could have had a better rest before going over tonight. As it stands, it's going to be probably about 3 p.m. by the time I get down to Hikertown. Probably later by the time Centipede gets there. Anyway, it's not ideal, but that's what we've got to work with. But you can see, I mean, It even looks hot on the camera. And that's because it is. It's crazy hot. And it's not even, 12:30, yeah, it's hot, but I think it's probably going to get a little bit hotter. Tomorrow, I think is forecast to be even hotter still. So at the moment, I'm just being very wary of our slithery friends on the trail, because I'm sure they'll be out somewhere in this sort of weather. I'm just trying to think about ice cream. That's all it is. That's all I'm thinking about. Ice cream. Pint of ice cream coming my way. Well, it's 1:20. Let's just have a look at the view, shall we? So if you're not familiar with Hikertown, it's basically somebody's property, obviously, but it's like all I can describe it as is like a little bit like a fake movie set. So it's like a compound, a big fence around it, from what I remember. And you kind of go in, and there's all these little buildings dotted around the outskirts, and they're all sort of like made out to be like the bank or the jail in an old West movie, like, or a hardware store or something like that. And some of them you can sleep in if you pay the guy some money. Others I don't know what they're for, maybe just for show or something like that. And then there's obviously the guy's house, or whoever's house owns it. That was in 2019. Maybe it's changed. Maybe it's totally different now. But that's what it used to be like. And then there was a car there, and you could basically just jump in the car and drive yourself down the street to the market. I'm sure that won't be the case anymore. Someone did say they own, there's a market one direction and a market another direction, I think. And someone did say they own one of them. But anyway, I need to go to one of the markets. That's basically the deal. I'll tell you something though, even though this trail isn't too taxing, it really takes it out of you in the heat. I'm glad there's a bit of breeze, for sure. Oh, there we go. We have made it. Just gonna walk down to the road now. Right on the valley floor, on the desert floor. It's a very nice breeze kicking up. Just past two of the hikers that we met at lunchtime. I think one guy was called Rusty. He was having a little issue with his shin. I think one of his shins was giving him some pain. Just passed him and asked him how he was doing. He said it was actually improving, so that's good news. And the other chap, quite a tall chap called Gandalf. So, nice guy. He was jealous of my sriracha sauce bottle at lunchtime, so I let him have some for his tuna. Just past him, taking a break at the top of the ridge behind me. I can't remember if this is Hiker Town right on the corner here or if it's further away. Well, we might have a little problem here. I got a hitch without even trying down to this Weeville market. I literally hadn't even stepped off the trail, and a car had pulled in and a girl came over. Her and her boyfriend were hikers. She was injured. They'd hired a car for a week and they were literally just looking around, looking for people to give rides to. So I got a ride down to this Weeville market. I've been here maybe probably about an hour or so. Ice cream, food, drink, coffee, all that. Now I've got to get about 5 or 6 miles back up the road, and there's a distinct lack of vehicles. And when there is a vehicle, they just pass me straight by. So it could be a while until I get back up towards Hiker Town. Yeah. I'm not fancying my chances here. These guys do give rides to and from the trailhead, but only when they've got the staff, and at the moment there's only one member of staff in there, so that's not happening. I shall update you if I ever get away from the side of the road here. Right, I made it eventually after about 30 or 40 minutes of trying to get a hitch. A really nice guy called Caleb, who lives locally, sped past me in his pickup and then turned round and came back and picked me up. Must have felt sorry for me. So really good of him, appreciate it. And he was a geologist as well, which I thought was quite funny. But this is Hiker Town. I've just met Centipede here. She was laid on the floor, just chilling out like these dogs are. But you can see what I meant by Wild West. You got the casino, the saloon, the theatre, cat house, feed store, schoolhouse, sheriff, hotel. These are all little huts that I think you can pretty much stay in. That over the road is not part of Hiker Town. Little tractor you can look at. You can't do anything else with it. I think I stayed in one of these over here last time I was here. Might have been the doctor's shack, possibly. Seems vaguely familiar. Centipede was trying to rent one. I think it's like $10 or $25, something like that, so she could get a little bit of sleep before our jaunt tonight, but she can't seem to find the owner. So at the moment she's just cooking some food in this area through here. But yeah, this is what it is. It's a windy old spot. I remember that from last time. It does get pretty breezy down here on the desert floor. But I'm not sure whether I'm going to be finishing this video here or continuing it through the night on the aqueduct, or I might do a separate video for the aqueduct. I'm not too certain yet. So please do keep your eyes peeled for whatever happens. Pooch. Nice doggy.